Hello dear students, hope you are all enjoying our periodic classification of elements. So today I am going to show you a video of the modern periodic table and how the various elements are arranged based on their atomic numbers, based on their electronic configurations in the modern periodic table. So first we have to define what is the modern periodic law. The modern periodic law is an adaptation of the Mendeleev's periodic table, and the modern periodic law states that the properties of elements are a periodic function of their atomic numbers, which says that if the elements are arranged in the increasing order of their atomic numbers, then what we observe is at successive intervals the chemical properties of the elements repeat themselves. And it so happens that elements with similar properties, they come to be arranged in rows called as the groups. So now here is the modern periodic table, and I'm going to show you how the various elements are arranged in the modern periodic table, and I'm going to use the annotation here. So this is the modern periodic table. Are you able to see there are three different kinds of boxes? One is the yellow box, the others are the green boxes, and then we have the pink boxes. So first we have to know what are these boxes about. The yellow boxes depict the non-metals. The green boxes show the metals, and the pink boxes show the metalloids. So first we have to know what is the position of hydrogen in the modern periodic table. As we have seen in the Mendeleev's periodic table, hydrogen could not be assigned a proper position. So also in the modern periodic table, if you see, this is hydrogen, which has been placed on the extreme left. It has been placed on the extreme top left corner of the periodic table. Now you'll ask me why. Why is hydrogen assigned a position like this? Why is it not placed within the periodic table? There is a reason behind this. Hydrogen has a single electron. It can lose this electron and become a proton, or it can accept an electron. If it accepts an electron, then the K shell of the hydrogen gets completely filled with 2 electrons, and it will gain that extra stability and it will become chemically inert. If it loses that electron, it becomes a proton. Losing the electron is more a tendency of the metals. So can we place the hydrogen along with the metals? No, we can't. Can we place the hydrogen along with the inert gases? We can't. That is the reason why the hydrogen is assigned an anomalous position. Even today, scientists don't know where to place hydrogen. That's the reason why you see hydrogen is placed on the top left corner of the periodic table. Then the modern periodic table, if you are able to see, consists of 18 vertical rows, 1 to 18, which we call them as groups, and it has 7 horizontal rows, which we call as the periods. I repeat, the modern periodic table has 18 vertical rows or 18 vertical columns, 1 to 18, which we call as the groups, and it has 7 horizontal rows, which we call as the periods. Now if you look at the periodic table, you'll see that we always move from top to bottom. in a group. and we always move from left to right in a period. Now, if you come to the extreme right of the periodic table, it is called as group 18. You are able to see that there are some elements like neon. You are able to see some elements like helium, neon, argon, krypton. They are placed on the extreme right of the periodic table, this way. They are called as the zero group elements or the noble gases. They are helium, neon, argon, krypton, xenon and radon. Why do we call them as the zero group elements? Because they have completely filled outermost valence shell. Their valence shell consists of 8 electrons, which gives them that extra stability and makes them chemically inert. They will never be able to participate in any chemical reaction. That's why these elements are called as the inert gases. Their valency is 0, and that's why they are placed on the extreme right of the periodic table, which we call as the zero group elements. Now, if you come to group 17, if you are able to see, it consists of elements chlorine, fluorine, bromine, iodine, astatine. They are called as halogens. Why do we call them as halogens? Because they are all extremely reactive, they are electronegative, they are nonmetals, they react with metals and form ionic compounds. That's the reason why we call them as halogens. They are chlorine, fluorine, bromine, iodine, astatine. They are placed in group 17 of the periodic table. They are nonmetals, they are electronegative, extremely reactive, their valency is 1, they react with metals readily and form ionic compounds. Now, I'll come to the left side of the periodic table now. Are you able to see? We have lithium, sodium, potassium here. We are able to see beryllium, magnesium, calcium here. This are called as the first group elements. These are called as the second group elements. The first group elements are also called as the alkali metals because they readily react with water and form alkalis. They are lithium, sodium, potassium, etc. Now, if you go to the second group elements, they are beryllium, magnesium, calcium, strontium, etc. They are also called as the alkaline earth metals. The second group elements are also called as the alkaline earth metals because they are found abundantly in the earth's crust. So the first group elements are called as the alkali metals. They are metals. They are highly reactive. They react with nonmetals and form various ionic compounds. So also group second elements are also called as the alkaline earth metals because they are found exclusively in the earth's crust. Even they react with nonmetals. They are also extremely reactive. They react with nonmetals and form various kinds of ionic compounds. So this is about first group elements, second group elements, zero group elements and the halogens. Now if you see, the metals are placed on the left side of the periodic table. The non-metals are placed on the right side of the periodic table. Now, as I said earlier, we are moving from left to right in the periodic table. As we move from left to right in the periodic table, what we see is there is an increasing tendency for the non-metallic character. there is an increasing tendency towards electronegativity. These are all the metals, these are the non-metals. Now, if you see, are you able to see there are some pink boxes here which are making a zigzag pattern? They are called as the metalloids. Why do we call them as the metalloids? Because they show properties which are intermediate to both the metals and the non-metals. And they form a zigzag pattern in the periodic table. What are these metalloids? They are boron, silicon, germanium, etc. So they are arranged this way in the periodic table. They are, can you see? Boron, silicon, germanium, etc. They are depicted as the pink boxes. They are totally 7 of them. They are boron, silicon, germanium, arsenic, tellurium, polonium. I repeat, the metalloids are boron, silicon, germanium, arsenic, tellurium and polonium. They are the metalloids. The rest are all metals. All the green boxes you are able to see, they are all the metals. Now, I would like to talk about, there is a box of elements here, if you can see. Between this is from group 3 to group 12. If you see, this is the third group, this is the 12th group. Between the third group and the 12th group and elements belonging to third group to 12th group and periods 4, 5 and 6, they are also called as the transition elements. I repeat, elements belonging from groups 3 to group 12 and belonging to the periods 4, 5 and 6 are also called as transition elements. Why do we call them as transition elements? Because they are also called as the d block elements, as the electrons in their d orbitals get successively filled here. So these are the transition elements. Now, if you are able to see at the outside of the periodic table, you are able to see 2 blocks of elements, which we are calling them as the lanthanides and the actinides. They are placed outside the periodic table. They are also called as the inner transition elements. Why are we calling them as inner transition elements? Because they are also called as the F block elements. Because the electrons get successively filled in their F orbitals. They are also called as the F block elements or the inner transition elements. Now, if you see, what are lanthanides? They actually belong to the 6th period of the periodic table. The lanthanides are elements starting from atomic number 57 to atomic number 71. They are a total of 15 elements.